you must have heard it somewhere that generally people call Power BI as self-service BI. And why it is called as self-service BI, how much powerful it is, and how much user-friendly it is. So that I'll demonstrate you today, and how it helps us for the advanced analytics to make it very, very easy for the users. So if I talk about the agenda for today's session is, we are going to talk about first with the introduction of working with artificial intelligence visuals in Power BI, the Q&A feature. Use the Q&A visual for this purpose, and we'll move forward for some important function with the Q&A features, the key influencers, and finally decomposition, and then we'll have the summary points. So I'll explain you with each and everything, and let's go one by one. So introduction to working with AI visuals and why it is required. See, when your data set is little bit sometimes more complex, and you want to take help of Power BI for creating visualizations, or maybe you want to help Power BI to answer your questions for your stakeholders. Okay, then you can use the feature of this AI visuals inside Power BI. And first, this is first point. Second point is, when you are doing analysis on numbers, amounts and measures and so on, you successfully create the dashboards and you easily get the insights of that. But when you are doing analysis on non-numerical data, for example, a text or um, a text, then it is more difficult to get the insights. Okay. So let's say, for example, you are into a situation where your teammates, they are asking you, they're giving you some feedback data from the comments and the feedbacks given by the users, and you based on their feedbacks, you need to do some analysis. Then in that case also, the analysis is a little bit difficult. In that case, the Q&A feature will help a lot. That's what we'll see inside this section, that how to use the Q&A feature in Power BI. Let's first understand how to add the Q&A visual to your report canvas. Then I'll show it practically to you. You can see here on the visualizations pane, when we move to the visualizations pane, there is a Q&A feature given already. Okay, or we can edit from the button section as well. Let's jump into Power BI directly and let's do it practically. It will be more better and easy for you to understand. So if you go to Power BI, our report, already existing report, and we create a new page here to understand this. Let's see how powerful this Q&A feature is. So here you can find in the visualizations panel, I can find this Q&A button here. If I click on this, it will add this Q&A button over here for me. I can drag it a bit so that it will be more easy for you. First of all, Power BI is automatically started to give me suggestions. Power BI has automatically started to give me the suggestions, which is the total, what is the total QTD by product category? Okay, what is the top product manufacturer by total QTD? What is the target by product category? And some suggestions. But let's say I'm not happy with this. I want to ask Power BI, okay, show me the total revenue. I'm not interested to, I'm not able to find the total revenue, and I want Power BI to show me that. So what I just need to do is I need to write total revenue here. As soon as I do that, as soon as I hit enter, I select the text, I'll start finding the answer, 3.17 billion. You can go ahead and you can see it here. The total revenue is 3.17 billion. It's absolutely correct. It is in millions, but if I categorize it to the billions, you will find it into somewhere around 3.17 billion only. Okay, so it's a very, very, very useful feature. Maybe we have. Let me just confirm that we have not added any filter here for this data. Okay. Yeah. If we go back here, we'll start finding that, okay, the total revenue is absolutely correct. It's 3.17 billion. And now I want to more categorize it with maybe, let's say, total revenue by product category. So I'll add product category here. Then let's see how much Power BI is smart. It's so smart that it is giving you in a bar chart automatically in urban category and rural category and mixed category, youth category. Great. I was doing so much task to create this a bar chart, and then I was adding some fields and I was doing all the things. But now Power BI is so helpful that it has given me, it has suggested me that, okay, this is the answer and you can use this chart. If you are happy with this, if you feel happy that, okay, I'm very happy with this chart and I want to use this chart into my report, but I can just do it. I can just go ahead and click on this button here. If I hover my mouse over to this button, it is showing me turn this Q&A result into a standard visual. I'm repeating once again, if you are happy with this chart and you want to turn this into a standard visual, something like this, something like revenue by manufacturer, units by manufacturer. Similarly, I want to see revenue by category, something like this. I want to turn it into a chart, something like this, a standard chart. So what I'll do is I'll just select this. There is a button here, turn this Q&A result into a standard visual. As soon as I click on this button, this Q&A section is gone, and it has now converted for me into a standard bar chart. I'm getting the answer what I wanted. Now, if I want, I can go ahead and start formatting what we have done with the normal charts. Similarly, we can go ahead and start formatting here as well. We want to add some multiple colors. We want to add on the data labels. Got it. We want to add multicolor. We want to make it multicolor. Go ahead, change the colors, whatever you want. So go ahead and do the same formatting. I'm not going to repeat it once again. It's absolutely fine already. Great. Add the title, add the border, whatever you wish, as soon as you want. Similarly, you can convert it into any other chart. I'm more interested into pie chart for this. Go ahead and convert it. You will get the answer. So I think you can understand how much powerful it is, how much powerful feature it is, how it is making so simple for you to this Q&A feature to use it and convert it into the charts. Okay. First of all, it is making so simple for you as a report author plus as a report user to get the answers for stakeholders as well. There is one more way. I want to use Q&A, but I don't want to use it from here. I want to make it little bit more interactive. So if I fit it into report as well, it must look more interactive. So what I'll do is I'll go to insert, and on the buttons option, I'll find this Q&A button. If I click on this, I'll get this button designed by Power BI here as my other buttons. So I'll just drag it a bit more. Okay. You can go ahead and start formatting, fill up the colors and fill up something so that it will be more better for you. Something like darkish color, whatever you want. As per your requirement, go ahead and choose the colors. Okay. And now increase the transparency or decrease the transparency as your wish. Great. Put some title. You can add a title so that, okay, everyone will understand. Ask your questions. Something like that. Very interactive and simple title. Ask your questions. Okay. And then that's it. And now you can go ahead and start using the same thing. Action is already on because this is a Q&A. So the action is already on. I don't need to worry about this. It's absolutely fine. Now I can go ahead and start using this as my question. So once I'll publish it to Power BI services. I can go ahead and type question inside this. It will help me to answer the same way as I was using it here. Okay. So isn't it great that it is helping us in a natural language? We are just asking the questions in a natural language. So that's why a user who is not from any technical background, a developer or maybe a user and the stakeholders who are not very technical people, it makes it very simple for them to go ahead and use this. Okay, so beautiful. And let's come back here. Let's see some more points into our report, into our PPT. So we have already discussed on these points. I hope you are very clear with this, how to use the Q&A feature and how to use this button as well. So we have already seen it. So great, you can go ahead and ask typing and start typing the question and get the answers as your requirement. Great. But sometimes what happens is let's say for example, I want to show you some important features for setting up this Q&A. Let's say in my data set, I have a geo table. I have a geo table where I don't have a country column. In my data set in the geo table, I don't have a country column. I'm just showing you an example here. Let's go to the example direct. That will be more easy for you to understand in this way. So we don't have a country column into our geo table. We have something called as a region. We have something data called as a region. But someone as a user, they are not aware of the data set and they are just asking into the Q&A sales by country. Sales by country, but we are not getting the exact answer what we want. Okay, we are not getting the answers what we want. So for that, how we can ask Power BI, how we can ask Power BI to help in this scenario. So let me show you that in case if you need to take help of Power BI to understand that whenever someone is asking for a country, that means I have to show as per my data set from the region. So what I want is I want to something kind of feed up in Power BI. That okay, if someone is asking for sales by country, That means we have to show total revenue or sales by region. Okay. So let's see how to do this, how to teach the Q&A, how to teach Power BI for this Q&A feature. So let's go ahead and see that. So if we jump back to Power BI, we come back here, and I'm removing this because we have don't want this right now here. We want this Q&A feature only, or we are removing this as well because we have already removed the Q&A. So let's add a new Q&A. Great. Okay. So when you open up this Q&A, you can find there is a settings button. You can find there is a you can when you hover the mouse over there, it's simply showing you teach Q&A to understand people better, review questions people have asked, and manage them. You have manage the terms you have added. So how to use this feature? Click on the settings button. It will open up a new window for you into the browser, a new browser window. So you can definitely understand from here as well. You can go through this video to understand how it will help you. Otherwise, what you can do is you can go to teach Q&A. You can go ahead and teach Q&A and enter a question about your data using everyday language. I want to add data, something like that. I want to add a question of something like total units sold in maybe total units sold by country, something like that. Okay, total units sold by country. Submit the question. It will go ahead and if it start finding the answer for you. Okay, but in case if you feel something sold can't be defined yet, try defining something other terms first. It is showing that it is not able to understand this sold term. So what I want is, okay, it is showing me that, okay, this sold term is not working. So instead of sold, what feature you want for this to be done? So I want to say that, okay, the total, just a minute. Something like this, total units by country. Okay. And just click on this. I think maybe some feature is missing. But otherwise, it could have been enabled us to save that as well, so that later on we can use it. Okay. So that's a very manage the terms. Just a moment. The term which I was defining here, the total unit sold. Total unit by product, something like that. Submit. Get the answer. That's okay. That's absolutely fine. And I click on this one more. And you can just have a little bit understanding from here as well. I think I'm doing the same thing. Popular products, some of units greater than 100. That's fine. You can go ahead and see on this feature. So that's absolutely fine. But I hope you understood that how to use this feature and how it is so powerful. You can just take a little bit from this. Sometimes this maybe this is not enabled in my this Q&A setup is not available here. But you can go ahead and have a look on this video to make it enabled. Great. So we have understood that how to use this Q&A feature from Power BI and how it is very powerful to use to enable us to use the natural language processing for this purpose. It makes the analytics more and more simpler. Thank you so much.